Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode here in NHL 24. So in last episode, we took on the Chicago Blackhawks in the second round of the playoffs, and we managed to beat them quite convincingly, just like last year. And once again, we are going to be taking on another team in the conference finals that we've already faced, and that's been the Anaheim Ducks. Now, our series with Chicago was quite easy for us. I don't know how it was that easy, but it was pretty damn easy. We managed to hold Connor Bedard to only, I think, like 2 assists in that 5-game series. You could see game 1 was a 6-3 win. Then we won 4-2. Lost 2-1, so that was still a good defensive effort, but the offense was lackluster. But then we won our last 2 games 5-1 and 2-1. So our team managed to find itself to the conference finals again, which is nice, but there is still some underlying problems, I'd say, with this team a little bit. And the only underlying problem, I would say, pretty much with our roster has been the lack of depth scoring. You can see if we go to our forwards here, basically our top 6 has all been point per game or better, but then it drops off a cliff quite much afterwards by 5 points. Enroth is the next closest. He actually had a pretty good second round, but you have guys still like Eberle on only 4 points, Matsumoto on 3, Goldman on 3, Lannon on a couple points. Like, we definitely need the offense to be a little bit better on the bottom 6 as well, because obviously last year when we won the Stanley Cup, we had really good depth scoring. This time around, it seems like we're very much focused on our top 6 of Wilson, Irving, Groshek, Misa, Jacuzzi, and Bickles. So hopefully those guys continue to do good, because if the bottom 6 doesn't do good, then they're going to be in a very bad spot, because this top line and stuff like that in the second line, I know they're consistent, but there is a chance that they could just randomly take off a couple games, and in our bottom 6, if it doesn't score, then we're going to be losing games. From like a defensive standpoint, we've been getting good offense from Kyrou, which is good, but everybody else has been a little bit quiet too. Vandermeer is still only on 4 points. Last year he was much better in the playoffs, so I'm hoping maybe for a good conference finals from him if possible. And then goaltending wise, this is maybe one of our better goaltending runs so far. Stanley King has a .925 save percentage up to this point in time, so from a goaltending perspective, it's been pretty good, especially in the last round, not necessarily in the first round. From a defensive standpoint, it's been pretty good, but the offense hasn't been that great from the back end. And then from a forward standpoint, we're pretty much reliant on our top 6. So there's a little bit of underlying issues, but I think we should be able to address them going forward. Hopefully, we could get those other areas going on our team as well. But if we don't, I don't know if we're going to be able to necessarily beat the Ducks, because the Ducks are a very, very solid team. Let me show you guys what they're looking like. But first, in the regular season, they were, I believe, the second best team in the league, was it? No, that wasn't the second best. The third best team in the entire league, but the second best in the Western Conference. And they were 13 points back of us. So I kind of feel like we might get, not necessarily cheesed, but knocked out by another very good team, because they do have a very good roster. They scored a lot of shorthanded goals in the regular season and playoff-wise so far. So if any team's going to beat us, I would think it would be the Ducks. But honestly, who knows? Maybe our team will be able to find a way to make them into mincemeat like we've been doing to a lot of teams so far. Let me show you guys what their lineup looks like again, just in case you forgot. It's pretty similar to what it was looking like last year. A little bit of differences, but not too much, I would say. Like, they did bring in a couple guys like Lutz, Geeky, I think also, yeah, Rasmussen, Ponomarev, Kostin. So a couple of the faces changed on the team, but the core pretty much is still intact. So they got like Zegras, Koivisto, Carlson, who are still all there, Mason McTavish. And then from like a defensive standpoint, still Mint Yukov, Drysdale, Zellweger. So it's a very, very solid team in Anaheim. The one thing is they are actually missing their starting goaltenders, so they're going to have to rely on Tommy Ladd and Calvin DeVries. I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but hopefully this guy misses the entire round against us, because that might help us a little bit. But they technically have so many 90s in their lineup. They have 3 90s on their forward core, 2 90s on their defensive core. So they have like 5 90s in their lineup, which is better than ours, which is kind of crazy. So like I said, if there's going to be any team to beat us, I think it would be the Ducks of all teams. So hopefully we could prove them wrong and get ourselves to that Cup Finals against either Buffalo or the Islanders. But anyways, before we begin our quest for a potential third cup in 5 years, let's get into the one and only comment we have from the last episode. So that comment is from Sanro Otaku, who says the depth and defense needs to start showing up on the score sheet. As you said, if the top 6 get shut down, you'll be sitting Ducks, pun very much intended. And yeah, that's very much true. If, like I was saying, if our top 6 doesn't do anything and our bottom 6 decides to continue playing the way it's been playing, we might be in a bad spot. So we very much need our top 6 to keep doing what it's doing, and then hopefully our bottom 6 could start chipping in as well from time to time, because obviously, like I said, last round Enroth was pretty good, but everybody else, like Eberle, has been quiet, which is kind of a surprise because last year he was really good. Goldman and stuff like that, not so much offense either. So it would be nice for all those guys to start showing up and bringing some offense to our team a little bit more as well. But anyways, let's get into this series against the Ducks. It's kind of funny that this playoff run has been exactly identical to last year's playoff run, where we went through the exact same teams. If we knock out Anaheim again here, it would be the second time in a row that we knocked them out in a conference finals. But obviously the Stanley Cup finals would be different because Buffalo, I think we played Buffalo in the Cup finals a number of years ago. The Islanders we've never faced before either, though, but last year we faced the Boston Bruins, and they didn't even make the playoffs this season, which is quite interesting. So here we go. Let's get into game number 1. We got home ice advantage, of course, because we won the President's Trophy. Let's see if we could get to that Cup finals again this season and cement ourselves as a dynasty, because that would be very nice. First period of game number 1. 1-0 us. Hey, good start. Quinton Eberle. Let's go. That's exactly what we were kind of calling for. We want our guys that are on other lines to start scoring. Our top line obviously didn't do anything in that first period, but they get a goal from a third liner like Eberle, who only had 1 goal going into this series. Already scoring. That's a good way to start it off. Hopefully our bottom 6 can maybe do most of the offense in a sense in this series as well, but I would like our top 6 to still do what it does. But it would be good to see the third line and fourth line kind of surprise us with how they could play in this series. Shots are 11-11. It's a 1-0 lead for us. Can we get some insurance in the second period to have us have a easier time in the third period? Second period, 3-2 us. Okay, we were up 3-0, which is great, but we do allow 2 unanswered goals, which isn't. Irving scores to make it 2-0. Cairo makes it 3-0 with his first of the playoffs. But then Zegras and Koivisto, so their top kind of guys, are starting to get the Ducks back in the game, which is not great. Stanley King, off to a little bit of a rough start this round. He was very good against Chicago, but so far this isn't the best first game for him. Hopefully he has a strong third period and doesn't blow this game for us. Let's see if we could get some insurance here in the third period, because they getting 2 unanswered goals is a little bit nerve-wracking. Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Let's get that 4th goal. Power play for us. We do not score. Penalty kill. Nicely done, penalty killers. Power play again for us. We do not score. A lot of penalties getting taken in this period. Power play again for us. We do not score. We have had 3 power plays. There's a 4th power play, and we do not score in that third period. We've had all the chances in the world to go up by 2, but we don't. But we do manage to hold them off with a 3-2 win. So, hey, not a bad effort, I would say, from the team. But I do like our power play to be a little bit better than that, because obviously we should have been able to get an insurance marker, but we did not get an insurance marker. But we still win by 1 goal. And we outshot them by 15 shots. So, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So, Eberle from Enroth and Vernarski, Irving from Jacuzzi and Vandermeer, and Cairo from Irving. Not bad at all. No goals in that third period either. But how much power plays did we have? I thought it was like 4, right? Yeah, look at all the power plays we had in that game. Holy crap. One-sided reffing or something. We had 7 power play opportunities, and I don't think we scored a single power play goal. Right? We didn't score a single power play goal, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't even say PP on this thing. It would be nice if they actually added something like that to see if it was a power play goal or not in this kind of screen. But yeah, I don't think we even scored a single power play goal, and we had 7 power play opportunities. That's kind of weird. Irving the first star of the game, Cairo the second star, and Stanley King the third star. Yeah, Stanley King has been much better since that first round, because in the first round he had an .898 save percentage, I think it was, or an .899. By the end of the second round, he got up to a .925, and he's been pretty much lights out since then, which is nice. So, we have a 1-0 series lead. We're still on home ice. Let's keep the team the exact same for Game 2, but I might want to change up our power play lines a bit if they play bad again in Game 2. So, let's see if we could take a 2-0 series lead headed to Anaheim, because that would be a great way to start off this conference finals. Let's do this, boys. Let's get more offense from other lines again. First period of game number 2. It is 1-0 us again. Power play goal from Caden Wilson. So we're still reliant kind of on those top 6 type of guys, but at least we do have the lead. Shots are 14-11 in favor of us. Once again, we're up by 1 goal after 1. Can we get some insurance in the second period and maybe play a bit better defensively in the second than we did last game? Because obviously last games where we allowed 2 unanswered goals. So it would be better for us to kind of contain that a little bit more in the second period. Second period. Still 1-0 us. Okay, we're still playing dominant defensively here as of late, which is great. But we're only up by a goal still. So this is pretty close series so far. Game 1 obviously was only decided by 1 goal. So far this game is only a 1-goal game. Anything could happen in the third, even though we are out shooting them 29-22. Let's see if we can get some insurance and lock this game down and take both of our home games. That would be a great way to start it off. Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Get an insurance marker for me, boys, please. I don't really care who on the roster, but somebody. Maybe like Louis Vara, who has not scored at all. I'm just going to call out random names like that. Zegras ties the game up. That's not good. Come on, boys. Let's get that lead right back if possible. Are we going to go to overtime in Game 2? Final few minutes, and we are going to overtime in Game 2. So, yeah, this is a very close series, as I kind of expected in a way, because both these teams were the best Western Conference teams. You'd expect kind of a showdown like this. Shots are 43-30 in favor of us, but their goaltender has been phenomenal so far, even though he's technically not their starting goaltender, which is kind of crazy. Let's see if we could find a way to get that winner in overtime, because if they win a game in our home building, then we're going to need to take one in theirs, or else we're going to be in a bad situation. So, who is our only goal? Was Wilson, right? Yeah. Oh, they're on the power play to start overtime? Or is that just a glitch because I went back to the first period? I don't even know. But we definitely need to find a way to get the OT winner here, and we need our other lines to contribute, because so far our top line has been a little bit more quiet than it has in the past. So, can we get a goal in overtime to take it 2-0 series lead? Who wants to be the hero? Let's see what happens. Come on, guys, please. And of course they score right away on the power play in OT. It's Leo Carlson, and it's a tie series headed to Anaheim. That's not ideal. Their goaltender made 42 saves. I'm not going to put Stanley King on that or our defense. Our offense is doing exactly what I was not wanting to have happen, and that's basically our top 6 kind of taking a night off. And that's exactly what it did just there. So that's when we need our third line to be showing up and helping us out a bit. Our only goal is Wilson from Bickle and Vernarski. And then, of course, their big guys come through with some points there. Yeah, Ladd was phenomenal in that game for them. And King was great for us, but unfortunately we could not get it done. I might have to make some line adjustments or something like that to try and get those other lines going, because they've been just very quiet. And then hopefully our top 6 can get going again. It's been decent so far, I would say, but obviously it's been a lot more quiet than it was against the Blackhawks. So we are going to do one crazy swap. We're going to swap Bickle and Misa as something just to see if that does anything for this team at all. I'm also going to swap Jaquezie and Wilson. So it's going to be Wilson, Bickle, Irving, Groshek, Misa, Jaquezie. That's what I like about our top 6, is we can kind of just flip-flop things as much as possible. I'm also going to go Matsumoto as the our third-line center and Goldman as the fourth, just because Goldman's a two-way forward and Matsumoto's a sniper. And from a defensive standpoint, I think I'm going to just keep it the same because it's been simulating well, and Stanley King has as well, because Stanley King's up to a 926 now. He's been really good. So I think that's what we're going to do. I feel like almost putting Bishop in would help us out offensively a bit, but I'd have to scratch like Scarlett, and he's been a rock on defense, so don't really think I want to do that too much. I could swap Vernarski and Louis Vara if I really want to. +4. You know what? Let's try that as well, just to maybe give us a little bit more offense on that top pairing. I think Vernarski might be a bit better offensively. 84 on awareness. 85 for Louis Vara. Louis Vara's got 4-star shooting as well. 84 passing. Technically, Louis Vara is better offensively, but we're going to just change that up just for some small little adjustment, just to see if it helps out our team at all. But I'm hoping that we could get a good response in this next game, because like I said, if we lose both games in Anaheim, we're in a very bad situation. If we find a way to win both these games, we're in a good spot. If we win one game, we're back to square one again. So let's see if we could win some games in Anaheim and get ourselves set up for a good spot, because obviously losing both these games might spell the end of our good little playoff run we've had again this season. So let's see what happens in Game 3, see if we could take that series lead back again after losing in overtime. Come on, guys. Let's find ways to score. I don't know if Curry's back yet, but I hope that he's not back this entire round. First period of Game 3. And 1-0 Ducks. Our offense has definitely quieted down quite a bit, which is not great. It's exactly what I was kind of expecting going into this episode, because we were mentioning about the depth scoring. If our top line takes it off, we're not going to be able to find ways to score goals. And so far, that's been the case. Shots are 14-6 for the Ducks after one. We're down by a goal because of Climby. So King is keeping us in it, which is good, but obviously we need to generate a lot more chances than 6 shots on goal in an opening 20 minutes. Can we find a way to tie this game up in the second period and give ourselves a chance going forward? Second period. Still 1-0 Ducks. We're being outshot 27-12. We only had 6 shots in the first and 6 shots in the second. We are not generating anything in this game so far. I hope this isn't the type of series where you literally lose like 4 straight games and you do not give up on, or you do not score almost a single goal, because that would be not great. But that's basically what I was kind of expecting with our top 6 being as good as it was and our bottom 6 not as much. Can we find a way to score our first goal since the first period of last game? Because our first goal was in the first period last game, and then we didn't score after that. So it's been 5 consecutive periods, or actually not 5, 4 consecutive periods of no goals. Let's see if we could tie this one up in the third period. Come on, guys. I know we don't have a lot of shots, but their goaltender might be a little bit cold still. You never know. Let's see what happens in period 3. Who wants to be the hero for us to tie it up? Damn it, Braden Schneider makes it 2-0 Anaheim. That's not ideal. Power play for us. Come on, guys. Please, there you go. Aiden Irving, the captain, pulls us within 1. Can we find a way to tie it up now? We still have time on the clock. Come on, guys. Penalty kills. Don't take penalties at this time. We kill it off late in the game. Can we tie it up, please? No, we cannot, and we lose our second game consecutively by a score of 2-1. Yep, this is exactly what I kind of feared, with our top 6 being as good as it was and our bottom 6 not so much. We got outshot 35-20, so once again, Stanley King played great, kept us in the game, but our offense has not been able to find itself consistently, so I might have to make some more adjustments here going forward. So our only goal is Irving from Misa and Jaquizi. But Stanley King got first star in that loss, so yeah, Stanley King has been really good. And it's kind of surprised me because last year he wasn't super good and we won the cup. So maybe we don't want him to be that good if we want to win the Stanley Cup. Louis Varr must have been temporarily injured because, yeah, he was never injured. Let's see what we could do in terms of adjustments. Oh, boy. Trying to think of what we could do to get this team going more so. Let's load up our top line. We're going to go with Irving, Bickle, and Groshek. And we're going to run Wilson with Jaquizi and... yeah, with Jaquizi and Misa as the second line, I think. Yeah. And then, do I want to make any other adjustments here? I think I'm going to take one of the defenders out of the lineup here going forward. I think I'm going to take Scarlett out. He's been great defensively, but I need somebody to bring offense from the back end, which means we're going to give a chance to Bishop just to try and get our offense going a bit here. I know he's dropped down to a 73, but it's because of morale. And yeah, that's good. So I know Scarlett's been phenomenal so far, but I need to change something up, and I honestly have no idea what else to change up. This third line really needs to find a way to change itself too, but I don't want to demote somebody in the top 6 to the third line, and I don't think I want to demote anybody on this third line to a fourth line role either. So yeah, I think we got to keep the forward group pretty much the same other than the top 6. Let's see if our top 6 can get a good response after last game. Because like I said, it's been pretty quiet these last 2 games. We only have 2 goals in our last 2 games. We've only given up 4 though too. So technically we could be up 3-0 in the series at this point in time if it weren't for that overtime loss and also only scoring 1 goal in the other game. So even though we've been losing these games, we're still pretty close to actually winning them as well. But we need that offense, which is something we haven't gotten since game 1. And even then, we only scored 3 goals in that first game. Every single game has been determined by a goal up to this point too. So they could technically be even up 3-0 at this point too. But anyways, this is a crucial game. We lose this game, we have to win 3 straight. We win this game, we're back to square 1 again, which is what we're aiming for. So can we get a response from our team and tie the series up, head it back home, and then have a best of 3? Because this is pretty big in terms of who's going to potentially go to the cup final or not. First period of game number 4. 2-0 us. Let's go. Good start, and it's our top 6, of course. Irvin and Wilson with both goals. Let's go. Shots are 12-11 in favor of us. That's a good first period. We already have as much shots as we did in the first 2 periods of last game after 1. So our team is taking more chances, which is good with those line adjustments, and we've already converted 2 times. Hopefully we can build on that in the second period as well. Second period. 3-2 for us. Yikes, that's a little bit scary. They did come back in the game, kind of. Richie made it 2-1. Wilson scores again to make it 3-1, but that goal from Geeky pulls them back in it. King's kind of having his worst game of the series. He's got 2 goals against on 19 shots. We have 3 goals on 26 shots. We need to be careful here because obviously they have the offense that come back in games. They haven't been super good offensively against us, but they still can come back in games. And we definitely need an insurance marker here if we can, please. So come on, boys. Let's get a 4th goal and lock it down defensively like we've been doing in prior games. Let's see what happens in this third period. Get that insurance marker. Power play for us. We do not score on it. That special teams need to be better. Braden Schneider ties the game up. Of course he does, but Aiden Irving, the captain, gets us back to lead. Aiden Irving has definitely been our best player in the series so far and from an offensive standpoint. He's been a GOAT. He is the captain after all, though. Final few minutes. Penalty kill again. Stop taking penalties late. We do get an empty netter from Vernarski. We win 5-3. Another close game, I would say. But we do have a tie series, and it's going to be a best of 3 going forward. Final shots 42-34. We win 5-3. Oh, yeah, without Irving and without Wilson, this would be maybe a much different series at this point. Those guys have been still pretty consistent despite our lack of offense. Wilson from Misa, Irving from Bickle and Vernarski, Wilson from Louis Var and Jacuzzi, Irving from Bickle and Jacuzzi, and Vernarski from Matsumoto and Vandermeer. 3 stars of the game, Aiden Irving with the 2 goals, Caden Wilson with 2 goals as well, and Vernarski the 3rd star with 2 points. Yeah, Aiden Irving and Wilson have, I think, like around 3 goals each in the series, and we've barely scored, so that was definitely our best offensive game of the series, but also our worst defensive game, technically, even though it wasn't that bad. But that was good to see. Okay. So maybe having Bishop back in the lineup would be a good thing just going forward to help us out with offense. I know he didn't pick up a point, but maybe him being in the lineup helps us with the offense that we need a little bit more than Scarlett's defensive play. He was +1 in that game, so we're going to keep Pierce Bishop in for another game. Obviously, it seems weird scratching Jimmy Scarlett, but it's just more to help us have more of a balanced approach from the defensive standpoint. Because 2-way, offensive, defensive, offensive, 2-way, offensive. Actually, we do have a lot of offensive defenders already. Technically, Pierce Bishop doesn't need to be in the lineup, but I am going to keep him in for 1 more game at least. And obviously, we're going to keep the top 6 the same after that line adjustments, because it seems like it still works out pretty well. Yeah, our top 6 has been great, but then you go to the 3rd line, it needs to be much better. Like, I'm really shouting out Eberle here, especially. He needs to be much better than what he's doing right now. Enroth has been solid last round, but he still needs to bring some offense, and then Matsumoto has been quiet as hell. And his 4th line not really doing anything either, so I would really like to see some more offense still throughout our lineup, because obviously, like I said, if our top 6 hasn't been as good as it has been, who knows how early we would have been knocked out, as Buffalo has swept the Islanders in the conference finals, so whoever wins this series will be playing the Buffalo Sabres for the Stanley Cup in 2035. Okay, I think we got to keep the team the exact same. It's been a bit of a weird series so far up to this point in time. Every game has been decided by 1 goal except for last game because of an empty net goal, so let's see what happens in Game 5, see if we could win on home ice again like we did in Game 1 and take a series lead that we haven't had in a while. Also, if we would have taken Game 2 in that overtime game, we could have probably been in the spot where we could have already ended the series, which is kind of crazy, but it is what it is. That's luck sometimes. Let's see what happens in Game 5. See if we could build off last game, and hopefully we could get guys like Eberle to start scoring too here in this game. First period of game number 5. Okay, well, that's offense. That's like what I like to see, but they did score 4 goals on us in the first period, which I do not like to see. Stanley King has already been yanked after the first few minutes of the game. Koivisto, 2 goals from Carlson. One was a power play goal against. Bernarski and Wilson scored in the post within one. Zegras then restores a 2-goal advantage, scoring on Grant, who's now in net. And then Wilson scores again. That's a crazy first period. Hopefully the second period does not bring the same type of goals against, because or else it could be 8-6 after 2. Shots are 16-14. We're out shooting them, but down by a goal, which is kind of nuts. So good to see Wilson being as good as he is, but once again, we do not have that depth scoring. It's once again our top 6 that's been doing pretty much most of this stuff. But their top 6 also got most of their goals in that first period too. So let's be a bit disciplined. They do have 2 power play goals as well. Let's see what happens in the second period and see if we could play better defensively and find ways to score more goals like we did in that second period. Still 4-3. Hey, I'll take it. I will take it. I mean, I would rather have us been tied after 2 periods, but the fact that it's still 4-3, that's a much better defensive period. Grant has been keeping us in this game a little bit too. Shots are 30-20 in favor of us, but we're down by a goal, so we definitely had a good chances in that second period, but could not convert, which is not great. Let's see if we can find a way to tie this game up in the third period, because if we lose this game, we're going to be on the brink of elimination headed to Anaheim, which is not ideal. Who wants to be the hero for us in this third period and tie the game up? I'm going to shout out Aiden Irving because he's been doing a lot for us so far, and he has no goals so far in this game. Let's see if he could get it done, or maybe Wilson, who has 2 goals in this game as well. Come on, guys, let's tie it up. Who wants to be the hero? Penalty kill, and they get a power play goal for the 3rd time tonight, Zegras. Of course, our penalty kill is doing tragic at the worst time possible as Koivisto gets one as well. We have 4 power play goals against in this game. Our special teams really failing us at the worst time possible. And despite having a good defensive second period, we're going to allow 2 goals. 3 goals make it as Lutz scores, and we lose 7-3 in a huge Game 5. And now we need to win 2 straight games or else our series and season is over. We outshot them that badly, and we lost by 4 goals. That's not great. Our goaltending needs to be much better than that. And our defense, too. I think I'm going to take Bishop back out of the lineup for sure, because I don't know if that's why we lost, but Bernarski from Wilson and Misa, Wilson from Misa and Jacuzzi, and Wilson from Misa and Jacuzzi, and then, of course, we just could not score again. Let me take a look at those plus and minuses. Alexiev was -2. How was, what's his name, though? Bishop. He was +1 again. Bishop has been +2 through 2 games, which is good, but he doesn't play a lot, so... I think our goaltenders pretty much lost us that game, though. Let me take a look at the goaltending stats. Yeah, Stanley King was absolutely tragic. 3 goals on 6 shots. He was really good up to that point. And then Grant didn't do much better either. 4 goals against on 26 shots. But, yeah, that top line of the Ducks, or top 6 of the Ducks, did phenomenal. 5 points from Carlson, 4 points from Zegras, and Koivisto as well with 4 points. So, yeah, that top line needs to be contained much better in this next game if we want to stay alive. As simple as that. I'm going to take Bishop back out and put Scarlett back in because that was the worst game I think we've played defensively in quite some time. We definitely need a big response if we want to get into a Game 7. Like I said, I knew the Ducks were going to pose us a bit of a problem, and so far they have done that. So, let's see. Okay. Let me look at the plus minuses throughout the team. That's still not bad. Goalie-wise, obviously, Stanley King, I guess, will start next game, even though we played tragic last game. He just needs to be a little bit better in those opening periods. And then from an offensive standpoint, we need to really find a way to shake up this third line. We're going to do some drastic moves here. So we're going to go Irving here, Groshek back here. Jacuzzi still going to play top line. Actually, Wilson will play top line. Jacuzzi will play top line. Wilson will go down to the third line. He's been great, but we need to find a way to spark that third line. So Enroth will get into the top 6 just because of that. Aside from that, Goldman will go back into the third line as well. And I think I'm going to take Landon back out of the lineup again. Yeah, Landon's going to come out of the lineup again. And we are going to get Cam back in as well to help us out a little bit defensively. We're going to go back with Palin and Vandermeer, so load up our top pairing. Louis Var and Kairu, Vernarski and Scarlett. 6 points so far from him. I don't really like Louis Var's play so far, so actually we're going to go with that. Yeah, we're going to just swap a lot of things around. We're going to also go to our penalty kill here because that was tragic in the last game. And we are going to address this and take Enroth off this unit and put Alexiev there instead. Yeah. Just to see if that helps us out at all with the penalty kill situation. And we're going to go back to Misa actually on the top line. That's another thing because Misa should be on the top line. So Irving, Misa, Jaquizi, Enroth, Bickle, and Groshek. And then Wilson, even though he's been phenomenal so far, is getting demoted. I know it seems weird, but it's more to get that third line going because something has to change with that third line. If nothing changes, I don't know if we'll ever get any adjustments or goal scoring from that line. So it's a little bit weird to do, especially going into an elimination game, but let's see if we could force a Game 7 back on home ice because our Stanley Cup rings are on the line, so to speak. We lose this game, we aren't going to win our third cup in 5 years. We win this game, there's still a chance that we could win our third cup in 5 years. So let's see if we could somehow respond after that 7-3 loss because that was definitely our worst game, I think, of this entire playoff run. Real-time simulation. Come on, guys. Let's force a Game 7 back on home ice if we can. Let's get our offense going early if possible and get some other lines going other than just our top 6. As our top 6 has definitely been still our best line. Ziegler scores a power play goal against. I made adjustments and we still give up another power play goal. But we do also score one of our own as Jaquizi gets on the board, which is nice because he has not scored a lot of goals actually in this round, which is something we need a little bit more of from him. It's been mostly Wilson and Irving picking up the goal scoring so far. Shots are 17-11 in favor of us after 1, so we definitely outplayed them, but their goaltender is keeping them in the game at the moment. Can we find a way to get that lead? Because we have not had the lead yet in this game. And hopefully our penalty kill could do much better, please. Or we could just be disciplined and they get a goal again to get the lead. Mason McTavish. Not ideal. Do we have a response to that? Come on, guys. I know you have goals in you. Power play for us. We do not score on it. Come on, guys. Please. Leo Carlson. Another power play goal against. And then we get one from Enroth. That's good to see Enroth on the board. That's why we moved him into the top 6 to get him going a little bit. But we are still down by a goal going into the third despite outshooting him 32-20. And I literally just about spat on my mic when I was just talking there, but for some weird reason. That's a bit weird. Anyways, we're down by a goal. We could still do this, guys. We just need to get a goal, get this game to overtime, and force a Game 7 or something like that. I know we have the offensive capability. Does somebody like Eberle or whatever want to actually show up? Because he has not really done anything so far this entire playoff run. Enroth has definitely been the best third liner there is right now on this team. So we need guys to step up. Who wants to be that guy? We also need our top 6, maybe like Irving or Wilson to get going. Jaquizi again. Michael Misa. Somebody. Let's see if we could tie this game up in the third. Come on, guys. Let's keep it alive. Let's keep it alive. Keep those dreams alive. Penalty kill. Stop taking penalties. You got to be disciplined. Christian Cairo, a huge goal in this third period to tie this game back up. Louis Farah, of all people. Huge goal there from the Finnish defender. Of course, we're getting goals from our defense all of a sudden out of nowhere. Their defense has been scoring more goals than our bottom 6 has, I think. And we do barely escape with a 4-3 victory. We are going to a Game 7 back on home ice. Of course, this series is going to go 7. Kind of expected it in a way based on how close these teams were. But damn, man, that was a bit scary. I thought we were going to maybe lose this series, but 2 goals from defenders of all people. And we do find ourselves into a Game 7 scenario. Crazy. So Jaquizi from Misa and Vandermeer, Enroth from Bickle and Groshek, Cairo from Misa and Irving, and Louis Var's first of the playoffs is a game winner from Wilson and Eberle. Alright. Yeah, Louis Var, of all people, with the game-winning goal. That's crazy. That is crazy. So we're going to a Game 7. Kind of makes sense considering we cruised through the first 2 rounds. But it will be interesting to see if we could get ourselves to that Cup Finals again here. We have not won back-to-back games in the series right now with against Anaheim. So that's definitely something we need to get here, or else our season is done. I think our lines are pretty much good and ready to go for the next game. There's been a lot of 1-goal games in this series so far. I'm just making sure our lines are good. Yeah, I think our lines are pretty much as good as we could go. I know it seems still weird to have Wilson down there, but I just need to find a way to make that third line better. Like, Eberle picked up an assist in that game, which was good, but we still need more out of our depth scoring. Wilson will get back into the top 6 if we get to the Stanley Cup Finals for sure, though. Yeah, I think we're pretty much ready to go with that. So the question is, are we going to be going to the Cup Finals again this season, or are we going to have our season cut short in Game 7 of the Conference Finals? Still, it's been a very good run up to this point, but obviously, as I said, Anaheim was going to pose a big threat, and that's so far what they've done. But will we be able to get to the Cup Finals again and face the Buffalo Sabres again as well? Come on, boys. Let's get her done. Let's move my face over, and let's get to Game 7. We need to be more disciplined, and our penalty kill needs to be better. That's the main thing. Hopefully that could go for us here in Game 7, and hopefully our depth scoring could show up too, because like I said, I think our defense has scored more goals maybe than our bottom 6 has, which is kind of bad. So let's see what happens in this decisive Game 7. At least we have home ice for this game, so maybe that could help us, but so far I don't think that's made much of a difference. Come on, guys. You got this. Let's see if their captain can come through like Aiden Irving. Penalty kill, nicely done, penalty killers, but don't take penalties, please. Got to be disciplined. Power play for us. We do not score on it. Power play again for us. And we do get one there from Vandermeer. Let's go. That's somebody who has not scored, I think, at all in this playoff run. Or if he has, it's only been one goal. And that's a big opening goal here in Game 7. We are up 1-0 after 1 with the shots 13-10 in favor of Anaheim. So they're definitely getting chances. But so far, our goaltending has been solid. Let's see if our bottom 6 and our other offense guys could score some goals, because our last 3 goals have been all from defenders. So I'm kind of finding it a bit weird that our defense is scoring and our top 6 is still doing good, but our bottom 6 just is doing what it does, which is basically just play a few minutes, dump it in, and keep it out of the zone. I guess that's all they really need to do, but let's see what happens in the second period. Maybe Eberle could score some goals for us in this game. Let's see if he can come up with some big ones. Come on, boys. Let's get some insurance. Make me feel a bit safer. Damn it, Rasmussen ties the game up at 1. That's not ideal, and Richie gives them the lead. Of course, we're not having a good second period. Power play for us. It's a long one. We still have not scored, but we do get one there from Eberle. I knew he was going to score eventually. Let's go, Eberle. That's his second goal of this series, so this might be his best series yet, even though he's been tragic so far. But that's a huge, long power play, and we do manage to convert on it. Oh, man, I don't even know what's going to happen in this game at all. We're in a Game 7, and it's literally tied going into the third. Oh, man, this is a little nerve-wracking to decide on who goes to the Cup Finals or not. Shots are 24-20 in favor of Anaheim, so it's been still a pretty close game in terms of shots, goals. Anything can happen in this one. Do we have another goal in us to give us the lead? And if so, who wants to be that guy? Please, guys like Eberle and Enroth, step up, and also hopefully our top 6 could do some damage in the third period if possible as well. Let's see what happens. Come on, guys, please. Oh no, Drysdale gives the Ducks the lead. That's not a good way to start the third period here, boys. Do we have a response? Do we have a response? And if so, who wants to be that responder? Maybe Aiden Irving. Final few minutes. I'm going to have to intervene here. We're going to end up watching this regardless, so might as well intervene and watch to see if we could force it to overtime and maybe find ourselves in the Cup Finals again. Let's go with our normal jerseys, and I will remove my face from the screen. This is a little bit scary to intervene already at this stage, but we might as well watch and see if we could find a way to get this game to overtime, because we're a few minutes away from potentially being eliminated in the Conference Finals. It's been a good run, but also the lack of offense from our bottom 6 has definitely been our problem, I would say. Come on, guys. We got 5 minutes to tie this game up. Just got to play good defense and wait for our opportunity. Shot to the net. Big save there. Okay, come on. Here's Palin. Finds it to Jaquezie, who makes a move back to Palin. A shot, and Ladd turns it away. Good little shot there. I will take it. And that's kind of funny. Jaquezie had that shot on goal, and he wears number 44, and the time left on the clock was 4:44 of all things. Caden Wilson's actually tied for the most points in the playoffs right now. That's kind of interesting. Come on, guys. We got time. We got time. Just set it up. Get some pressure, maybe. That might help us get away. Don't let Mintyukov just walk in with it. Nice little poke check there. Vandermeer throws it to Jaquezie. Arthur Jaquezie throws it up to Michael Misa. Misa skates in. Throws it out front. Irving, a quick shot, and that's turned away just barely, too. But, yeah, Aiden Irving looking dangerous here early on. Jaquezie throws it back. Kyrou to Palin. Palin to Misa. A shot that's blocked. Irving, a shot. He scores! Aiden Irving has tied the game up at 3 with a huge goal to maybe save our season and our cup winning chances. Aiden Irving is fantastic. His 15th goal of the playoffs. Obviously, last year he did not play the entire playoffs because he was injured. This year he's been willpowering this team to potentially another Stanley Cup run. What a shot and what a finish by the captain. That's why we intervene and watch these games late. Let's friggin' go. And their coach apparently called the timeout, and it's apparently a female coach. It looks like the one from the Be A Pro games when you play. It's just kind of funny with the broad shoulders, okay? But Michael Misa now tied for the team lead in points with 24, with an assist there. We still have 3 minutes left in this third period, but that was a massive goal there from Aiden Irving. Bernarski finds Misa. He finds Jaquezie. Irving, another shot turned away. That was dangerous as well for the Ducks. Aiden Irving's looking great here early on into this one. Get it away, boys. Don't let Leo Carlson walk in. Koivisto, a chance, and that's turned away by Stanley King. That was dangerous. Kyrou. It's back and forth up to Michael Misa. He skates in. Can't get by. Gets to the net, and it's turned away. Come on, guys. Just get it away. We're into the final minute. Get it to overtime. That's all I will care about right now. Unless we want to find a way to win this game, but we want to be careful. Jaquezie making some moves. I don't know why he's making moves like that in a Game 7 third period, but here he is. Get it away. Nice little hit there by Vernarski. Vernarski with it. Finds it to Aiden Irving again. Aiden Irving walking in. Finds Jaquezie, a shot turned away by Ladd. That was a huge one there by Ladd to make that save. Because if Jaquezie scored there, that could have been the one to send us to the Cup Finals right there. Okay, offensive zone draw, and we're into the final 10 seconds. Can we find a late game winner, or are we going to overtime in Game 7? Michael Misa at the draw. Tie up. It's still tied up, still up front. Jaquezie finds it and just throws it to the net to get a quick whistle with 4.8 left on the clock, or 4.9 actually. I was reading the boards, but it said 4.9 on the actual clock. Can our top line find a late game winner here? Michael Misa again at the face-off dot against Trevor Zegras. Zegras wins it cleanly. Misa can't get it away, and we are going to be going to overtime in Game 7. Of course we are. Whoever scores the next goal is going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Either we're going to be upset here in this game, or we're going to be happy and we're going to be going to another Cup Finals with a chance to win another Stanley Cup. Shots were 36-35 at the end of regulation. Let's get into overtime and see if we can get to this Cup Finals again. And if so, who wants to be the hero? We saw Aiden Irving score earlier. Maybe he has another one in him. He's been really good in this series. Okay. I wish we would have won the overtime game that was earlier in this playoff round. Drysdale walks in. Leo Carlson, a shot. Yikes, that was a weird bounce on King, but he will freeze it. Let's not let them get any pressure here in overtime, because pressure is a scary thing. Gotta win this face-off. It's Misa against Koivisto. Koivisto is one of their better players too, so he's a bit scary. Nice face-off win there by Misa. Vandermeer finds it up to the captain, Aiden Irving. He's not very fast, but he does have a great shot. Aiden throws it over, doesn't get through. Leo Carlson with it now. Don't back up on him, guys. You need to literally be right on him right away. A shot, huge save by Stanley King coming across the Rob Koivisto. Flashing the glove. I don't know if there will be a replay on that, but that was pretty crazy. No, there was no replay. I want to see that quickly. Like, the reaction on King was pretty slow paced, but he does make a great save there. He pushes across. Big save. Oh my goodness. Stanley King. I know your pads suck, but still. That's beautiful. I wish he wasn't wearing roll the shell pads, but it is what it is. Okay, big save there. We need to get it out of our zone so we do not give up any pressure chances. Koivisto wins it again for them. Richie throws it to Drysdale. Mintyukov a blast, and that's off a body and over the net. Vandermeer with it, the assistant captain. Throws it to Michael Misa, up to Irving. Vandermeer's got to go off to the bench because he lost his helmet on that hit, which is not great. Drysdale with it. Get away, Vernarski. I know you're over there. Get it away from him. Nice defense by Vernarski, but then he turns it right over. Huge save there by King again. Yikes. That was dangerous. Michael Misa walking in. Misa over to Irving. That's turned away. Jeez, Misa and Irving look phenomenal together. Like, Irving's had like 3 or 4 shots since we just jumped in the watch. Just crazy. Get it away, guys. Come on, Palin. Minyukov, a shot turned away by Stanley King. King has some size to him, so that helps a lot. Here's a 2-on-1, maybe. Michael Misa. Chikwueze, a shot turned away. Misa again denied. Misa over to Irving. That's turned away too. We have our 40th shot on goal, and we almost have full pressure. If we could win this face-off, maybe we could get them a little hemmed into their zone and get a chance here. It's Bickle, Groshek, and Enroth out there. Of course, not having Wilson on his top second line is a little bit weird, but let's see if Bickle could get a face-off win here. He does. We have full pressure. Palin can't get the shot through. They're going to just be trying to get it out of the zone, I think. And they managed to, which means our pressure might go away here shortly. Yep, it's going to go away here. That's not great. Damn, man. All that work for nothing. Geeky, a shot turned away by King. And that's his 37th save of the night. So both goaltenders are very much living up to each, or they're basically battling each other quite well in terms of saves. Come on, guys. We got to win this defensive zone face-off. Bickle against Zegers. Zegers wins it. Get it away. Get it away. Schneider, a shot. That might have skimmed the post, which is kind of scary. Get it out. Get it out. Vandermeer with it. I think that hit the post, though. Vandermeer finds Groshek. Philip Groshek finds Bickle. Walks in. That's turned away. Loose puck in front, and we cannot find that rebound. That was a good chance there. Geeky walking in a shot, and Stanley King will eat it up. I think that 1-point shot definitely hit the outside of the post. I don't know, just the way it came off the net. Oh boy, this is a scary game. Both teams have been generating some good chances in OT, so really can't tell what's going to happen. Bickle wins a good defensive zone draw. Palin. Dennis Palin walking it up, finds Vandermeer. Up to Bickle. Bickle finds Groshek. That's delayed offside, but it does go back onside, but Climby takes it away. Get away, guys. Nice play there by Enroth. He's a 4, but he plays great defensively, apparently. Enroth makes the move. Can't get by Schneider. You guys don't need to pull off crazy dekes in overtime, please. Mason McTavish walking in. Out front, Vandermeer takes away maybe a potential goal there. And we might have an offensive break. It's Enroth walking in. Shoots it. Turned away. He almost got that chance, but he was in a bit too tight. Could not get too much on it. Sokolov finds it to Climby. Climby getting by Vernarski. Chance for Drysdale. Turned away. Rebound was right there, but Enroth recovering as a forward is awesome. And he draws a power play too. Huge shift there from Enroth. Maybe that's what he's been getting paid for. But what a shift from Enroth. Takes it away defensively on that rebound. And then he gets tripped by the best player on the Ducks. And we have a power play to potentially close the series out and go to a cup finals if we could find a way to score. We have our top unit out there. Irving, Misa, and Chikwueze. Don't know who's out there on the defensive standpoint, but I'm guessing Vandermeer at least. Face-off one. Vernarski takes a shot. He scores! Vernarski! The Winnipeg Jets are going back to the Stanley Cup Finals for the 2nd consecutive season and also for the 3rd time, I think, in the last 5 years. What a shot, and a quick power play OT winner has knocked out the Ducks. We once again are going to the Cup Finals. Let's go. Wow, what a roller coaster of emotions that was. Aiden Irving ties it up late, and in a huge game winner goal there from Vernarski on the power play. That was a tough series with the Ducks. I knew they were going to give us a run for their money. But there it is, Aiden Irving returning to the lineup this year's playoff run. Without him, I don't think we get to the Cup Finals this year. But what a performance. Let's go, boys. Woo! That was a huge OT winner. I got to take a look at the replay on that. Shout out to Vernarski, whose goal might go down in channel history. Nice little face-off win by Michael Misa. Vernarski kind of just takes his time with it and then picks his corner. Perfectly placed shot. Love to see it. And Vernarski has sent us to the Stanley Cup Finals. What a goal. I got to get a screenshot of that, I think, just because it could go down as maybe one of the better goals in the series. So I actually should remove my face from the screen first before I get the screenshot. Let's get that. Boom. And that is good. Okay, huge game winner there. Was not expecting that. Let's take a look at the 3 stars. So, Jamie Drysdale, goddamn, I can barely talk. The third star of the game for Anaheim. He had some good chances to win it, but didn't. Second star going to Vernarski with the OT game-winning goal. And then who was the first star of the game? Probably Irving, my guess. Let's see. No, Michael Misa. 3-assist night for Michael Misa in Game 7. Pretty influential in that one. And we got a shout out to Enroth as well for taking that play away on the rebound, drawing a power play for us, and then us capitalizing. Let's friggin' go. Did not expect us to win there, but it was a very tight series. Every game was pretty much determined by a goal except for the 7-3 loss. And in this one was only because of an empty net. That was by 2 goals. So we do find ourselves in the Cup Finals again. Let's advance a day and get that confirmation. And yes, there it is. Buffalo went 50-29-3. Interesting. Okay. Let's take a look at our player stats after the conference finals, and then we'll take a look at what Buffalo's looking like going into the Stanley Cup Finals. So, let's take a look and see who's done what. Let's see what we got. So, Misa on 25 points. He's been great. Bickle on 15. Definitely a little bit more quiet, actually, in that conference finals, but still really solid. Matsumoto on 4 points. Still needs work. Goldman needs work as well. In general, we need more offense. For sure. I'm definitely going to go back to our original lines probably in the Cup Finals. So, Groshek on 17 points. Enroth on 8. He had a okay second round, or third round. Not as good as the second round for sure, though. Eberle picked it up a little bit. Not too much, but enough to help us out. His plus-minus is also great. Landon on 2 points. Not too bad. I guess actually he was pretty bad. Alexiev 1 assist, but -6. Our fourth line has been shredded, apparently. Wilson on 24 points is great. Irving on 22 points, including 15 goals. He's been phenomenal. Jaquizi on 19. Love those 3 guys. Defensively, Cairo on 10 points. He only got 2 more points in this round, so not as good. But Vandermeer stepped up with 4 points, so Vandermeer getting a little bit better. Also, Connor Vernarski has been very good, too. 7 points and a +8, including that series winner. 5 points for Palin. He had a good round. Scarlett on 2 points. Louis Varr on 2 points. And nothing for Bishop. Goaltending-wise, Stanley King still on a .920 save percentage. He might have had one bad game, but he's still been a pretty good rock in between the pipes for the most part. Okay, so I'm going to go back to our old lines in a sense here quickly before we take a look at Buffalo, just because I want to make sure I have this set up for next episode. I'm okay with our top 6 staying the same, but I would, for the most part, except for Enroth, I just want to make sure Wilson's back up there again to hopefully help out with the offense for a bit. We are also going to take Cam back out of the lineup again, just because I want to kind of get Landon back in a bit. So we'll go back to these lines again, and then from a defensive standpoint, we'll probably keep with these lines for now as well. Perfect. Okay, let's take a look at what Buffalo is looking like in terms of how they simulated regular season-wise and playoff-wise, and then we'll take a look at the roster, and then that'll be it for this episode. Okay, so if we go to entire league-wise, Buffalo was the 5th best team in the league, and they did win their division, but they did not win the Eastern Conference. They were the 2nd best team in the Eastern Conference. They scored 288 goals, way worse offensively than us. They were actually a pretty good defensive team, but not as good as defensively as us. Power play was worse than ours, and penalty kill was a little bit better by 0.1%. Interesting. What about playoff-wise so far? They obviously swept the conference finals, was a bit scary. Holy crap, did it say that they're 12-2? They are 12-2 in this playoff run. Yikes. Okay, so they are a team of dynasty right now. If they win the series really quickly, they might have one of the quickest routes to a cup win. So I got to be careful in this cup finals based on that. They're scoring 4.21 goals per game and only giving up 2.64. Power play wise, they're 33.3%, so their power play has been effective. And their penalty kill has been pretty solid too at 82.4. They're 6-1 on home ice and on the road. They have 5 short-handed goals this playoff run. They have not lost a game in their last 10. That means they've swept 2 straight rounds in. That's insane. Yeah, this Buffalo team's a team in dynasty. Their only 2 losses came in round 1. Yeah, we might be able to beat them in a sense based on that. Like, I feel like they got to lose eventually, right? But they might have a really good roster too. About 4-2 series win over Columbus, and they swept Detroit and the Islanders en route to this Cup Finals against us. Okay. Let's see what they're looking like. I'm pretty sure we played them a few years ago in the Stanley Cup Finals, but I don't remember what year that was. Let's see what they got. Buffalo. Roman Verrata, yeah, he was there definitely the last time we played them. I want to take a look at him. I know he's leading their team in points in the playoffs right now, but it was 2031, I guess, then we played them in the Cup Finals. So it's only been like 5 seasons since then. So kind of neat to play a team that we've already played before in the Cup Finals. So it's him with Dylan Cousins and Zach Benson. Very good top line. Second line, William Nylander at 39. Obviously, he's dropped off a lot, but still a good player. Peyton Krebs and Noah Cates. Pretty good top 6. Third line, Zach Ostapchuk, Connor Geekie, and Kyle Yamamoto. Pretty solid third line. And a fourth line of Samuel Fogamo, Sven Oduya, and Petri Sikola. Yeah, it's Sikola, I think. Yeah, the forward group's pretty good. A little bit weak on the left side, but the right wing side is pretty good. I don't know why Yamamoto is not up here over Nylander, but I guess Nylander just fits it better. Their center depth is good too. So yeah, offensively, pretty good team. Defensively, pretty balanced, I would say. Not insane, but they do still have Dahlin, who's obviously been there the entire time. Torsten Engqvist, Eric Brandstrom, Sam Bolduc, Jake Bean, and Gannon Larocque. Yeah, the defensive core is okay. Like I said, there's no real weakness. Like, you don't have a 75 overall playing, but obviously it's not the best. Dahlino is really good, still at 35. And then goaltending-wise, Devin Levi is in net, and he's 33 now at this point. So, still a really good goaltender. And I think last time we would have played them in the Cup Finals, I think he was their starter. Looks like Buffalo's been getting really far in this playoffs a lot of years. He's only played 6 games at this point. Yeah, the 931. How's he only played 6 games? Was he injured to start the playoffs? He must have been injured to start the playoffs. Yeah, because looks like Joseph Wall must have started the playoffs with a 6-2 record. And then afterwards, Devin Levi came back from injury and played all 6 games, and he's been great since. That's interesting. They also have Lucas Dragosevic, Vili Ottavainen, and Adrian Gillies. Okay. So they don't have the best depth options, but they do have a solid goaltending tandem. They have solid defense. Their offense has good depth. I can see why they got as far as they have this playoff run. And for many years, it looks like, at this point in time. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to another Stanley Cup Finals as we look to get our 3rd cup in 5 years and fully cement ourselves as a dynasty. So anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.